Right. All right, folks.
What time is it, Joe? Good morning.
Hopefully live.
What?
I said we are hopefully live.
Oh.
I think we are at this point. Let me do a couple shares as we get our friends jumping on to say good morning and hello and all that good stuff.
I think I slept in. What time is it, Joel? Did I sleep? Did I oversleep?
Apparently.
By a couple of minutes. Hey, Joel, what's going on? Good morning. Are we on? Let's check things out here.
We are on. We are on. I see that we have 2 viewers on at the moment.
Okay, I see no viewers, but 2 viewers on your side is better than. I don't know why mine never comes on.
Let's see. Share to a group. Let me do that. Yeah, I'll share it to a group, and then we'll get going, Keith.
Okay. Let's 908. Themis is on. Good morning, Themis. Jim's on. Good to see you, Jim.
Nice.
And Joey,
good morning, Jim.
Yes.
How are you? Joe, good to see you. Them, great to have you on. Yeah. All right. Shall we get ourselves started, Keith?
Yeah. Let's do it. Everybody seems to be waking up. Grab your coffee. I got mine. If you
I substituted my coffee today, Keith, for a little bit of water. Sorry.
If you have them, grab your drumstick. We're going to do a show. We'll get ready. We'll be right back.
All right, and off we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smackin' Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Lenderman.
Jack up your income, smack it in the face. Jack it up, smack it in the face.
Yeah. Get rid of that for the moment. All right. Brother Keith, what's going on, man?
What's up?
So what's going on?
Nothing. What's going on with you, Joel? I think you're up at the mountain house.
Yeah, up here at the mountain house. And I came up Thursday night. As soon as I got here, I started painting the ceiling in the bedroom, and then woke up yesterday morning, did the same thing. Put a second.
How's your arms?
But it's more my neck, But I do have the roller pole, so not too bad. The rolling part goes pretty quickly. It's the cutting in.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's just.
And did we do any caulking yet?
No, we're not going to do any caulking on this one because it's kind of a drop ceiling type, and there's panels there, so there's a natural crack around the whole thing anyway. So I thought it's not, you could spend forever doing this, and I have limited time up here, doing things. So I think it actually looks pretty good. But I will tell you, yesterday, Keith, I'm sure it was windy at home as well, but. Almost all day yesterday and all last night, it was as windy as all get out, and I pretty much had a horrible night of sleep because of the wind.
Worried about the house blowing over, huh?
Yeah, more so the trees blowing onto the house, something like that.
Yeah.
We just had tree work done 2 weeks ago. We got all the all the limbs cleared away from hanging over the house.
Cool.
But even so, I mean, the wind was just, and I wanted to look up what the wind gusts were in various parts of the state this morning. But if anybody has any information on what the high wind gusts were for the last 24 hours, I'd be very interested to hear that, because it almost felt like we were in a hurricane at points yesterday. And I will tell you this, Keith, when I went to get dinner yesterday, I just go over to the clubhouse. We can walk there in 2 minutes, but last night I drove over. When I got out of the car, it was like a blizzard. Man, the snow was coming down sideways.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to ask you
for a few minutes, though.
Okay, so you didn't have any accumulation. I was going to ask you that because somebody I work with, one of the guys, he has a house up in Potter County. That's quite a bit away. But anyway, they had a little bit of enough snow that he could write May 1st on his deck. So, yeah.
And speaking of May 1st, Keith.
Yeah. Happy May.
Yeah.
May Day. We made it. Woo-hoo!
Yeah. So May is here, May 2021. And for those school type folks like myself, that means we have May and June. And this crazy year of teaching during the pandemic will be over, coming to a close. So
are you going to do a virtual summer vacation, or is it just going to be a regular one?
I think I will virtually do a summer vacation.
Yeah.
Love it, Keith. Love it. So,
hey, Myron, Terry.
Yeah,
Michael.
good to see you guys. Mike, good to see you on.
And
Terry,
Barbara.
Myron, Barbara, good. So, Keith, let me do a screen share here, and we can talk about a few of the things that I pull up before we get into the meat of our show today. Okay, so I just took this screenshot of my phone last night. As you can see, it at about 10 to 1 a.m. we were expecting snow last night. So that's how things were up here. Now, Keith, tell us about this.
Oh, yes, yeah. A little late to the show, but we'll be 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks on Tuesday. I went and got my shot up at the Rite Aid. And my friend Barbara set it up. I had an appointment for Chester County Health Department or something like that for the end of May. And I was like, man, I want to be done by the end of May. So I heard that Rite Aids were doing it. So my friend helped me out and kept checking and got me an appointment right at my Rite Aid, and they have all my records. That's where I go to get my prescriptions and all that.
Nice.
So,
yeah, that works out well.
Worked out well. And I didn't realize until I left that they didn't make me wait around, for 15. A lot of people I know, you got to wait 15 minutes after you get the shot. And I didn't know if it was the Moderna that I got, and I didn't know if it was because of that or my Rite Aid's kind of small and there isn't a whole lot of room to hang out. So maybe they just, they see me all the time and, enough's enough, which I can understand.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, for my shot, I waited around for like 6 minutes. I even set my phone timer because they said 15 minutes. So I set it for 15 minutes. And the next thing I know, the guy's calling my name. All right, you're free to go. I was like,
okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Now, Keith, can you speak to does the shot cause like maybe balding or anything like that? Can you speak to that?
Yes. Well, that and a loss of cap. I went in there. I could have sworn I had my cap on, and then boom! Next thing you know, she's got a shot in my arm, and I'm missing a cap. So I don't know what that does. There's side effects. Everybody's.
Everybody's got their own side effects, right?
Yes. Right.
Nice. All right. Now, Keith, when are you getting your second shot?
It should be 2 weeks from Tuesday, right? Isn't it? And I was just looking. I got the thing in my truck. I think it's 4 weeks. So it should be in 2 weeks, and I should be all clear and ready to go. So, and I didn't have too bad a reaction. I felt a little weird. I don't know if that was just paranoia or what, but I think the next day I will take off the day after, because you didn't feel great. It's funny. Linda felt fine. Brad felt horrible. Everybody's a little different. I hear both sides of the story there. So
yeah. Well, since we're talking about the shot, Keith, let me share my screen again here, because these are some of the new CDC updates that I found a bit interesting. So just briefly, fully vaccinated people no longer need to wear a mask outdoors, except in certain crowded settings and venues. Now, honestly, I never really wore a mask outside anyway. When we would go hiking and we were passing people, we'd put our mask on. Just
right. That's right.
Yeah. So I don't really think that that's necessary anymore either. Clarification: have fully vaccinated workers no longer need to be restricted from work following an exposure as long as they are asymptomatic. And I think that's a big deal there, because time to time you're going to be bumping into people that expose you to the virus.
Exactly.
But
right.
They're saying that even if you are exposed, you do not need to stay out of work. I think that's a big deal. Fully vaccinated residents of non-healthcare or congregate settings no longer need to quarantine following a known exposure. So that's kind of the same as the one before. And fully vaccinated asymptomatic people without an exposure may be exempted from routine screening testing if feasible. So I guess that what that would refer to is like at school, we do a once a week testing. It's a quick test. And I guess it would refer to something like that. But, we all continue to get ourselves tested and so forth. So.
Right. Yes. Well, I was going to say something. Now I completely lost it. But anyway, we'll come back to it. Hey, Tara's on. Hey, Tara.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
Are you referring to the government spying on you? Is
Yes.
that what you're referring to there?
I had somebody in the store.
Say that
And last weekend, she was going on and on about it. It's just a government employee to something or other. And this, I don't know. Some people look sane from the outside, but what this, I love the X-Files. My favorite show, other than the Seinfeld from the last 30 years, is probably the X-Files. But it was a show. It was a story. That's about as much conspiracy theory stuff as I want to get into.
Exactly.
And
speaking of conspiracy theories, can we dovetail that into the
dovetail?
Yeah, remember what a dovetail is? Yeah. No more red meat. Have you heard those stories?
No.
Recently it's come out that Biden has put a cap on eating red meat production and so forth to help save the environment because of the emissions.
Oh, yeah.
And so forth. Well, guess what?
As
it turns out, and our friends online here, jump in on this one because it's very interesting. I did a little research on this last night, and this has come up from time to time over the last 10, 12, 15 years, as I discovered. But apparently there is a Michigan professor, I might be getting school wrong, but he did some research and he did some studies. If we cut down eating red meat by 50%, it will, bring down emissions by so much. And then he went on to 90%. If we cut down red meat, eating red meat, 90%. And you know what I'm saying? He went through these studies. If we cut down on eating meat, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that got picked up, of course, by the extreme right wing, and that immediately got attached to Biden. And it was on Fox that Biden wanted to, cut, red meat out of everybody's diet and so on and so forth. Well, guess what? Fox had to make a correction on that because it was a study that was done and had absolutely nothing to do with Biden and the administration. It was a study done by somebody else. And of course, some crazy idiot linked it to Biden and his.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So just curious if anybody has heard about that. There is still one idiotic representative congressman, I can't remember his name, who's still going on and on about that Biden's going to cut red meat out of our diet. Yeah. He just said it like 2 days ago. Yes, it has absolutely no, foundation, nothing to do with this current administration. It's I tell you, these things get posted on.
Oh, they get blown up. No, I've heard that over the years how cows put out methane gas, and
exactly, yeah.
I challenge a cow. Now I'm going to get a little graphic here, ladies and gentlemen. To any cow to put out more methane gas than me. And I can't imagine that they put, that there are any more harm to the greenhouse gases than or the environment than a common lawnmower. Which everybody's better.
That's a good point there. This professor did say that cows do put out a bit of methane. I guess
well, and that's what they were saying, but I can't believe it's enough to make that big a difference on the planetary.
So I just find that it's just so interesting. Michael, what are you talking about here? Not government. Bill Gates, he killed JFK and Epstein, or was it Vince Illuminati? I see what you're saying. these are getting to be conspiracies and so forth. I'm going to have a slice of pizza in DC. Somebody down there. All right, now you're getting that's funny, Mike. All right, let's see. Such BS. Why not pick on the cows? Nice.
Really, the cows can't speak back.
Yep, I agree, Barbara, completely. All right, Keith.
Okay, what else we got?
What's that?
What else we got going on?
So our next little segment here is texting etiquette.
Oh,
and as our friend Steve Selfridge just posted last night on our line, he said, I think he called it textiquette.
Whoa, be careful. That's I almost mixed up on that
You
one.
have to really enunciate for that one, right? Textiquette. So, and this came up because our dear sister Linda sent me a text. I was telling you last night on, I think it was last Sunday. And at the particular time I got the text, I was looking at it, but I was over at our in-laws and we were having a birthday party for little Connor and Claire. And I thought, oh, very interesting. I'll get back to that in a little bit. Well, here we are, a week later, Keith, and I have not replied. So what do you think about that, Keith?
Well, it's funny that you bring this up because that's not a unique instance, my dear brother. Yes. Well, I like I said, Joel has got a lot more, not that Lynn and I are not busy, but Joel has got a tremendous amount more stuff going on in his life than we do. And Lynn and I chat all day long. And I noticed that sorry, I'm trying to read some of these things. I noticed that Joel takes a little bit longer, but that's the beauty about texting. It's like if you call somebody, you got to call back right away, or you got to answer the phone, you got to talk. A text or an email is you read and you get back to it at your convenience. Now, a week, your only sister, maybe you want to, you might want to do a little quicker than that, but.
Well, I was hoping Linda would be on the show today and then I could make my apologies public in front of everybody here. But she often is working out at this time of day.
Yes,
so
I think she's
at the replay. So, Linda, if you're watching the replay, I apologize for not getting back in a good time fashionably texting time. All right,
yes.
So let's take
it probably is at some point, but yeah, like I said, I don't hold.
Let's take a look at some of the rules that we get from lifehack.org. Didn't get a text right away. It's okay to chill out. So if somebody's didn't respond to you, like what we're saying here, Keith, if somebody doesn't respond, maybe they'll feel like texting them over and over again is a perfect way to ensure that they won't respond ever. So give it a little bit of time, right?
Yes, right.
I'm still in that little bit of time. And then the next one says always respond. That being said, don't blow anybody off. Respond to somebody's text in a kind and reasonable manner. Okay. All right. Keep the other person's schedule in mind. If, somebody works late, don't send them a text earlier in the morning, or don't text them while they're at work on their shift and so forth. Don't expect a reply at that point. Anyway, don't text a novel. Don't go on and on in your text. Most texts need to be about maybe a sentence or two sentences.
Yeah,
right?
Sometimes I do that.
Yeah. Don't call in response to a text without asking. Now this is an interesting one because there are times, like I have to say, Keith, the last time I made a phone call, other than kind of like a business type thing, was a couple of weeks ago. Linda sent me a text and I said, I'm just going to give her a call.
Yes.
I have a long-winded answer here, and I don't feel like texting it all to her, so I'll just see if she can talk. So just use a little judgment there, of course. Avoid sarcasm in your text, and sometimes it's hard for me to do that because not everybody knows what your sarcasm is, right?
Well, I'm that's my middle name, so that'd be really hard for me. So
same here, and texting and with emails, especially. With students and parents and so forth, I need to make sure that whatever I'm saying is just nice and clean with no sarcasm.
And I've before we move on. I know what you're talking about there, because sometimes I'll text something, to a friend or a friend that we're not super close with or whatever. And then if I read this back, if you say something sarcastically, it's the tone of your voice that makes the joke, not necessarily what you're saying. And then if you just read something and you're not 100% sure of this person's comedic aptitude.
Right. We're talking about a scale of 1 to 10 here on the aptitude.
Yes.
Right.
Right. Yes. And it's actually a friend of mine that I work with, and I said something a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't hear back from her. So when I talked to her I said, I didn't. It's like, I didn't insult you. She's like, if you'd insulted me, you would have heard from me in 30 seconds. And of course, that's how I kind of know the person.
Sure.
But
sure.
But I know that's.
Yeah, actual inflection with the voice has a lot to do with how
yes.
Listeners hear what you're saying. I completely agree. Okay, double check your autocorrect, unless the correction is particularly hilarious. Of course, there are always auto corrections done.
Yes.
Before you send, and just make sure you check them. Double know, triple check who you're sending it to.
Yes.
Yes, make sure you check who you are sending it to. I'm guilty of sending one or two, and it's just because I open up my phone. I thought I typed in a particular name and I didn't, and it's actually a reply to another text I had earlier. So just
and let me tell you, only by experience, you only want to tell one person at a time is to call me Angel in the morning, of the morning, whatever that. That goes to the wrong person, you're in trouble. Hey,
exactly. All right. Respond proportionally. If someone breaks rule number 4, don't respond with just K. You know what? I cannot stand it when I get K. You know how I get that from?
Yes.
I get that from my eldest daughter. Unless you want to lose friends or alienate people or make them want to destroy their phone. So those and I think that's probably one of the next ones here. That we'll find. Let's move on. If you don't talk to them about this issue in real life, don't text it to them. This can apply in so many different situations. Everyone knows not to use text to break up or to communicate grave injuries, but you also shouldn't try to get really deep into a conversation with an acquaintance I recently barely know. Okay, so if it's something really heavy, then probably a phone call.
Yes.
No hashtagging.
I hate hashtagging.
Yeah, I've never sent a text with a hashtag in it. Number one is I hardly know how to do it. And number 2, I hardly know what it's for. And number 3, it's to me just a waste of time.
Yes. And I thought it was like a number 3. Isn't that what that is? A number symbol?
The number symbol. I like to call it the sharp symbol. But
okay. I've never heard of that. But
well, in music, F sharp, C sharp.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Don't use chat speak. Just don't. Don't forget this rule. BCU will lose so much credibility. So that's the other one I was talking about. The chat speak with and let me see what Steve said.
What's that? The LOL kind of thing?
Autocorrects. Very good. What'd you say?
What is the chat speak? Is that like LOL or that?
Yes.
Okay.
And Steve, you just see if you're still on here. I'm going to tell your story, and I think I have this correct. I believe a friend of Steve's mom passed away, and she replied, and I think I have this right, Steve, or maybe it's different people, but you're the one that told me this. And the reply said LOL to this, trying to console this person.
Lots of love.
That's what the intention was, but LOL means laugh out loud, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it would make perfect sense to me to put LOL, lots of love, but laugh out loud is interesting. Oh, okay. So let's move on here.
Yes. Oh goodness. Yep.
Do not type in all caps. Yeah, I don't like that either. And I don't like getting emails in all caps. I don't like anything in all caps. It's very difficult to read. It does kind of seem like somebody's shouting at you.
Yes. Well, that's yes.
And that's kind of how it comes across here. Use the right texting laughter. Here's a quick guide. Okay, I won't read through all these, but when I find something funny, I'll just say that's really funny, or I'll do haha, or something like that.
I rarely do. Sometimes I'll do LOL just like as a thing, because I mean, if it's like normally if you laugh, it's out loud. So if something's really funny, I'll say haha, because it's like I'm actually really laughing.
Yes, I chuckle a lot when I read text. And I don't necessarily know how to convey that other than putting ha or something like that.
Right.
Don't burn your face in your phone when you're hanging out with somebody. So that is definitely a pet peeve of mine.
Yes.
When you're with somebody and they're in their phone like almost the entire time.
Yes.
Now it's one thing to check. I feel it's one thing to check your phone. It's another thing to start, replying to conversations and so forth.
Yes, actually, if I could jump in here for a second, as a single, I wasn't going to do it.
Uh-oh.
As a single adult, I often go out to, and I'm starting to do more because we're allowed to go out more. I go out and I people watch when I go sit at a bar or sit at a table, whatever, go out and have a couple of drinks. And I am not the only one that's alone. I am probably the only one that's not lonesome. How's that? I look around and the amount of couples that are sitting here like this, right next to each other.
Okay.
Back and forth, not saying a word to each other.
Yeah.
That is what I long for. And someday it's going to come, ladies and gentlemen. But that is... I completely agree with you. There was a story I looked on when I was looking this up, and the gentleman was saying that he had met up with somebody that he hadn't seen for a long time. So as they were having their conversation, she pulls out her phone and starts texting, and kind of went on and on. So he pulled out his phone and sent her a text and said, "It looks like this conversation has ended, blah blah blah," and he walked away. Nice.
So I just find that
perfect.
If you're going to be out with or hanging out with somebody, go ahead and hang out with them.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So Steve, getting back to you, that's a story that okay, good. Yeah, I agree that I always chuckle about that conversation. Moving on, don't text while walking. This can be kind of hazardous. I've seen some YouTube videos with people texting while walking, falling right into a fountain, walking into a wall, walking into one of those short pillars that they have to block traffic from going onto a sidewalk, and you kind of get it right there in your crotch area.
We have in the liquor store that I was working at, the store was kind of reconfigured. So there's a beam, like a support post, right next to one of the counters, and you have to. It wasn't designed that way because it used to be a wall or something like that. But yeah, you have to look at it. And customers sometimes are like, when they're walking past and all that. And I wasn't there that day. And the only time I wish I'd been at work and I wasn't, one of our good employees, that by good I mean good, not good, walking around like this and walked right into the post, like face first into the post. And it's breaking the rules of tech, playing with your phone at work, and
right.
They pay the price, and I really wish I had seen it,
but there's workman's comp now, right?
Yeah, well, that's basically what our system is. I don't want to tell. I mean, people that know me know where but that is basically, if you don't want to work, you kind of come work with us, and that's. You just show up, and that's workman's comp. Yes.
Got it. All right. Say no more, my friend. And number 18, above all, do not text while driving. The biggest rule. Please do not text.
Yesterday morning, I'm up going to get coffee. I stopped at the light, and a girl comes by in front of me. And I look over, and as she's turning onto Westchester Pike, the biggest corridor in my area.
Yep.
I can see her with the phone as she's turning. There's people in her age bracket that have died doing that, and it's still something people do.
Or have killed doing that.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
That is one thing that is absolutely
and that's
mind-boggling that still
scares
happens.
me, Keith. that really scares me, Keith, because our daughter, as you know, Sophia, just got her driver's license a week ago, 2 weeks ago. She did really well with her driving coach. The teacher was really happy with everything she did. She said one of the best students ever, which is great, and that's what I expected. And I trust and I have faith that she will not text while she's driving. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I trust that she will not.
Well, I would think maybe a suggestion for you, and I think for younger people that are so attached to their phone, it might be a good idea to actually turn the phone off when they're in the car, because then they're not even just, oh, Joey's finally calling me,
exactly,
this, or whatever, just turn it off, and it's a horrible habit, and it's all it is a habit,
it's become a just a general habit for me. I pick up my phone like every 4 or 5 minutes to see what incredibly important message has come across, and there's nothing. I just see the time.
Right, there's nothing important.
There's nothing.
No, right.
So let's just check in with a few people. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Linda. Linda, I had an apology for you earlier in the show. If you didn't see the earlier part of the show, go back and watch it.
Larry.
Yeah. Don't drink and text. That's probably a really good.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's a really good recommendation.
I know some people. It's definitely good. Yep.
Hey, Laura. Good morning. Yes. Yeah. She has her license now just about 2 weeks ago, and she's doing well. Of course, she's not permitted to drive as much as she would like to drive.
Great. I'll be getting a call. Uncle Keith, can I borrow the pickup truck? I'm taking all my friends down to the beach, and we got a lot of.
We're going to pile them in the back.
And everything.
All right, Keith. If you guys are getting anything out of this show at all, we would love for you to smack the like button and love the love button. Even give a share if you like. That would be fantastic. We have one more segment before we get on to our trivia and jokes and so forth.
Hey, Debs.
Is that Deb on? Hey there.
Yes, it is, from the middle of the country.
Awesome. So, Keith, there was, I don't know if you saw this story. There was recently, now this is one I was going to share last week when my computer went out. There was a reported animal stuck in a tree. And where was this? In Poland. So animal rescuers in Poland said they were called out to help a suspected iguana spotted in a tree outside of a residential building, and arrived to find the mystery animal was actually a discarded croissant.
Wow, that's a big croissant.
It's a huge croissant.
Really? Why would you throw something like that out?
The Krakow Society for Protection of Animals said in a Facebook post that a woman recently called the organization to report a mystery creature that she suspected to be an iguana was lurking in a tree outside. People aren't opening their windows because they're afraid it will go into their house. So when the animal control people got there, it turned out to be a croissant.
Wow.
All right, let's look at a different one here. This lady here, British Columbia singer, breaks record for lowest note by a female. So she sang I got a note from a female once. It was pretty low, I got to tell you. She sang low C on the piano, and I'm going to pull up, Keith, my piano app here.
Okay.
This is what we've been using at school for the kids. So she sang C1, which is well below typically anybody's voice range. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
She sang way down there. And This is for the Guinness Book. And they actually had people come in. There's like 5 or 6 people they showed on this video come in and check the wavelengths and all that to verify that she did actually sing that low note. She has quite a range. I mean, she started up pretty high and then ended up way at the bottom. Now, nobody in their right mind ever wants to hear anybody sing that low note because it just sounds like a mess. But she did it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the Oak Ridge Boys are still touring, and that song "Elvira," giddy up, boom. They're going to hire her. They're going to put her right in the mix. They might have to put a beard on her or something like that, but she's got a future in show business.
Yeah, she would pass the audition.
Yes, wouldn't even have the audition.
Keith, you ready to do some trivia?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
We'll do our trivia. We'll do our jokes. We'll do your moment of the day.
And we got to get out. We're, once again, we're running long in the tooth.
As always, we have absolutely nothing to talk about, but
all day to do it.
Yeah, we stretch out nothing for quite a bit of time here. All right, let's get back to a screen share here, Keith. All right, can you see that?
Okay, what common expression is used to refer to the horseshoe-shaped zone found along the Pacific Rim, where approximately 90% of the world's earthquakes occur?
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we go on, folks, this is question number 1. Sorry.
Okay, question number 1.
When you reply, go ahead and put down number 1 and then your reply. That way, Keith and I kind of have an idea what you're talking about when you reply. Okay.
Okay.
So, shall we move on?
Did I read that well enough? Yeah. Well, you kind of get the idea.
Yeah. So we'll come back to that one. Number 2.
Stratus, Sirius, and
Cumulus.
Right. Are types of what? I know this one.
Yeah, I think we've had this one before.
I'm a little fuzzy up here about it, but I might be able to.
All right, so that was number 2. Number 3.
What is the name of the phenomenon when why don't we get some bigger words in here, Joel? Huh?
Magnetosphere.
Magnetosphere. God, you
magnetosphere in the northern hemisphere is disturbed by the polar wind, resulting in a natural light display. You know that one, Keith. Where'd you go? Oh, he went to get his glasses. What is the name of the phenomenon when the magnetosphere in the northern hemisphere is disturbed by the solar wind, resulting in a natural light display? You know the answer to that.
Yes, I know. What a phew.
Which is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust? Okay, so this is number 4. What is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust? And then number 5, this will be our last one. Number 5. What is the second most abundant element in the Earth's atmosphere? What is the second most abundant element in the Earth's atmosphere? And I do not think alcohol is an element.
Yes, that's a good one.
All right, we ready for? Shall I review all these? Or are we good?
Yeah. Let's. That's good. I think everybody can.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go on to our jokes. We'll come back.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
In a minute and answer them. You ready for some horrible jokes, Keith?
Yes.
Okay. Now again, folks, I dusted off the old Jokepedia for this one.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Number 1. Ready for this? Got your drum set going?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How can you tell a good computer programmer from a bad computer programmer?
How?
The good one always comes through when the chips are down. All right. They only get worse from here, folks. Sorry. What did the computer keyboard say to the typist?
What?
You're really pushing my buttons. You don't have to laugh if you don't want to. Why did the man take his computer to a clinic?
Say that again, Joel.
Why did the man take his computer to a clinic?
Oh, because it had a virus.
It had a virus.
Oh!
Last one. One more of this. Why was the disk drive so rich?
Why?
It was good at saving. Wait, don't come knocking at our door. Send all your hate mail to the Jokepedia.
You know, it hurts. I don't know if it's because they were funny or bad, but it's very good, Joel.
Oh, let's see. What do you got there, Keith?
Advanced questions. This day in history. You never like to brag or rejoice about somebody's demise, but this day in 2011, do we know what you were doing in 2011 when a Benny Ocean? I know this is really kind of a crazy dude, had some really weird ideas. Osama bin Laden was killed by Navy SEALs. Operation Neptune Spear. The world was a better place without him. Although I think ISIS is all over the world now, Al-Qaeda and all that kind of stuff. But we took us 2011. What was that? 11 years? Or is it 10 years? 2001, right?
2001. That would be 10 years
Yeah, it
ago.
was 10 years. Yeah, it took 10 years to
No, wait,
get rid of that mole. Unfortunately, it took
Wait
that
a second.
long. So anyway,
2001. Is that what it said?
2011.
Oh, 2001.
He was taken down. Yeah, 2001 was the 9/11 attack.
Got it. Right. Yeah.
So
Hey there, Wezzo. How's it going, Lynn? Hope retirement's going well for you out there. All right. Let's get back to our, let's see. Let's go back to here, Keith, and we're going to take care of our answers.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Our truly difficult trivia today.
Well, we got a couple of really good answers. Let's see if any of them are good. All right, let me read this thing one more time here.
All right.
What common expression is used to refer to the horseshoe-shaped zone found along the Pacific Rim, where approximately 90% of the world's earthquakes occur?
Okay. I see a ring of fire from Barbara, circle of fire. Okay, so I'm going to say it's something of fire.
Wait a minute. Chariots of fire. I'm going to go with that.
Chariots of fire. All right. Survey says ring of fire.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Never heard of it.
Well done.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's vaguely familiar. I think I've seen some National Geographic shows on that one.
If I'd done my research, I could have brought up the old you know, that would have been a good music back.
Number two.
What stratus, cirrus, and cumulus are types of what? And let's see who we have here.
I see a lot of clouds here.
Yeah. Let's bring in the clouds. Deb's got clouds. Aurora Borealis. That's another one. I think also David Boreanaz, I think, is a cloud. Yeah.
The answer is
I'm going to go with clouds. Yes.
Clouds. Yeah. Although Steve, I love your answer.
I didn't see Steve's answer. What was
He did Dodge sedans.
I saw that. That was okay.
Number three. Go ahead, Keith.
What is the name of the phenomenon when the northern hemisphere is disturbed by the solar wind, resulting in a natural light display? And everybody should get that. Themis says
Northern
Lights. See a couple
Aurora Borealis. All right. What is the
Aurora Borealis? Yeah, that is. I'm sorry.
The answer is
Aurora Borealis. Yes.
With northern lights in parentheses, so it can be used interchangeably. All right. Next one.
Got a little early on that last one. Which is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust? Heavy. I saw one. I think somebody said. I don't know what number 5 is, but Themis says
we have
nickel or iron.
Nickel, iron. Yes, we have a bit of disagreement on this one. So, shall we see the answer here?
Aluminum. Wow.
And I believe that, Keith, based on what's in my recycling can in there.
Yes, and you know what? I used to, the chips of my aluminum frames, where my fingers, when I cut a frame, the chip comes out of it. And I used to get about 25 cents a pound, and then it went down to about nothing a pound. So there is more. There's no sense recycling anything, and and thinking you're going to get money for it. Aluminum is very abundant. All right.
And the last one.
What is the second most abundant element in the Earth's atmosphere? That's number 5. Heather. Okay. Well, maybe Heather's. Her little 2 acres there. I think she'd be right. Helium, hydrogen. I'm going to say hydrogen. I'm going to go with Themis. Hydrogen.
Right. Survey says.
Oh, oxygen. Wow.
Bravo.
No kidding.
Oxygen.
Right. Well, we got a lot of.
Not to certainly not to make light of it, but I just saw a special yesterday where India right now is having a real hard time getting oxygen because their COVID rates are skyrocketing. Yeah. And so anyway.
And not to get too graphic either, but I just had some curry last night. And there's another reason why there's no oxygen over there, because there was very little oxygen when I woke up this morning in my humble community. Love the stuff, but it does have some repercussions, ladies.
All right. Guess what, Keith?
Ah.
I think that comes to the end
I'm
of our
glad you
show
played
today.
those. What's that?
I think that brings us to the end of our show.
Yes. Hey, I think we had a pretty good show today.
Yeah, it was actually
lot of people
practically
on.
okay. Yeah.
Yes, and sorry we've been not around less. Somebody's got another hobby.
Yeah, I
We're gonna have to do
apologize, man.
We're gonna have to do a show from the. Yes, we are. See, that's don't even have to go to the Galapagos to experience that.
Yeah,
we're
when
gonna
I
do a
come up
show
here
from
to-
the cabin, Joel, sometime soon.
Yes, absolutely. At some point, because you're vaccinated, I'm vaccinated.
Yeah.
We're feeling good about
Yeah,
this.
2 more
We
weeks.
do-
And Themis, just tell the family 2 more weeks. I'm getting my shots. I'm going to come down and bug you guys. I'm way behind in bothering the Galanos family. So miss you guys terribly. Yeah, everybody get your vaccines. You know, and you know what happened today? I'm watching the news this morning, and there's Delaware County. They didn't say anything about Chester County, but all over they're giving out vaccinations without appointments.
Yeah,
and they're going the Pfizer one too. So had I not gotten anything, I could have gone down to Aston somewhere in Delaware County. They're giving out the one-shot Pfizer, which I would do. You know, people got a lot of people got sick because I guess a heavier dose, but
sure.
One and done would be good for me. But everybody's got to get their good, Deb. Good.
Yeah.
So get out, get your thing, do your part, and let's get rid of this stupid thing. We can get out and start hanging out with each other.
And not to dovetail again on that, Keith, but even the younger folk who are healthy, this, that, and the other thing are strong. It's really encouraging for them to get their vaccine as well, even if they're healthy and they really have a very low risk of getting super sick.
Yeah,
they can spread it to about 10 other people.
Yes, that's
what the whole
yes.
vaccination issue is.
Yes.
We're never going to get rid of this thing if people don't buy into that. It'll just keep going and going and going. Because there are some people when they get their vaccine where it doesn't, because of their health situation, it only protects them with about 50%. And some people just cannot get the vaccine, period. Okay. Now, if those people go to the store, to the market, where all these 21-year-olds are working who didn't get vaccinated,
right?
Who are all nice and healthy, but they're asymptomatic, and spread it to these people who actually cannot get the vaccine.
Yes.
That we got to think about that. So anyway, what do you say, Keith? Let's get out of here.
Did I say Pfizer? Yeah, you are right, Myron. Johnson & Johnson. Yes, I'm.
One shot is Pfizer. That's one.
I mean well.
Yeah, that's one I got.
Yes, I mean well, ladies and gentlemen. But I am a little confused most of my life. But yes, that's what I was talking about.
Anything that we say on its surface, you better do your research first.
Yes. We don't claim to be Fox News.
That's right.
We'll tell you right up front. We're not quite sure about anything.
That's right. And our opinions are our opinions.
We're committed, but we're not quite sure about anything. So,
Yeah.
hey, thanks for stopping by, guys. Yeah, but a nice crew today. Go out and enjoy the spring. In the Delaware Valley here, there is pollen all over the place. So,
indeed. Yeah, it sure
take
is.
your whatever you call the
Benadryl, Claritin.
right, and get out, enjoy life, and we'll see you again soon. Hopefully next week, Joel. But the boss will let us know. But in the meantime, you deserve a thought of your own. So.
Be in touch to learn, laugh, and live. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you on our next show coming up in the future. All right.
Have a great weekend, guys.
All right. See ya. Bye-bye.
Jack up your engine, smack that in the face. Check it out, smack that in the face. Jack up your engine, smack that in the face. Jack it up, smack that in the face. Jack up your engine, smack that.